Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah, our Father, and Yahusha. He is the Mashayah, the one that carries the burden of Yah, his voice, our high priest, soon coming King. Hear, O Yeshua, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one. He is one. There is no other mighty one, brothers and sisters, than Yahuwah. And Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Dawood coming to you again to bring you the Day of Atonement, the Day of the Cleansing. This is part 3. How do you find the Day of Atonement? You have to know the path of years. And we, on Yah's channel, are the path keepers. What does that mean, Brother Dawood? We keep the path that leads to eternal life. You know, the narrow path. Very few find it. It's not going to be millions. It's just going to be a few thousand that will find the path of years and keep it. We are here to protect Yah's time. Everyone else around the world are there to circumvent Yah's time. If you want perfection, come here. We can explain and show you everything. What happens when you go to them? They show you absolutely nothing. Let's begin. Yaubol Yam. It's Jubilees. Chapter 6, 34 to 37. Look how it begins. 34. And all the children of Yasharel will forget and will not find the path of years. What should you be looking for? Should you be looking for a barley harvest? Should you be counting an omer? What does the book say? You should be looking for the path of years. What is the path of years? How the sun, the moon, and the stars work together in the heavens to give you time. If you forgot the path of years, what else will you forget? The new moons. We've just rediscovered them. And seasons. It's not seasons. It's appointments. On this channel, we have discovered them. And Shabbats. On this channel, we have discovered them. They were always there. We just were awakened. And now we remember. Because we did something. We're not following the Gentiles like everyone else that you see on the internet or that is teaching time. And they, the children of Yasharel, will go wrong. As to all, did he say some? He said all. The order of the years. 35. For I know, and from henceforth will I declare it unto you. And it's not of mine own devising. I'm not making this up. For the book lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained. Who's speaking here? It's Enoch. He is the one who went into the heavens and witnessed the heavenly tablets. On these heavenly tablets, the division of days, the way they are divided and counted, is ordained. Here's a question. If you make an adjustment on paper, does it change the days in the heavens? The answer is no. If you make an adjustment here on paper, you're only going to come to a fictitious date. Lest they forget, who's they? The children of Yeshua, the feast of the covenant. Did we forget them? Yes, we did. And walked according to the feast of the Gentiles. Is that true? Easter, Christmas, New Year's. All we knew was their feast. After their era, and after their ignorance. If you are following the feast of the Gentiles, you are in error and you are ignorant. The Jews are Gentiles. They're adding additional months to the calendar. What does it say? If you follow them, you will go wrong as to all the order of the years. Look what the Jews, look what they do. They are the lead in these adjustments. They're following someone called Meton. 36. For there will be those who will assuredly make observations of the moon, how it disturbs the seasons. Is the word seasons correct here? Yes, it is. Because we're talking about the moon and the sun. The moon loses time, 10 days every year it falls behind the sun. After a few years, it will disturb the seasons. Your time would be in February or January. And they say, well, in order for us to keep it near the equinox, into a place where the dew and the rain comes down and we know that we can receive a harvest, we have to make an adjustment to a calendar. Why do they have to make this adjustment? Because Yah didn't choose them. Yah can open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, where there'll not be room enough to receive it, no matter what time of year it is. Are you going to take that power away from him? Are you going to say that all of his promises are false? Are you saying that he does not have the ability to do these things when he controls the orbs that are in the heavens? If you think that, you do not qualify to enter in to the kingdom of heaven. All you have to do is follow the sun, the moon, and the stars the way they were created to be followed. No fictitious adjustments to calendars on paper. It doesn't change anything in the heavens. So they saw that the moon would fall behind the sun in the amount of 10 days every year, and they said, we have to do something about it. 37. And for that reason, because they think that they have to do something about it, the years will come upon them when they will disturb and make an abominable day the day of testimony. If you're following these brothers, the Jews, IUIC, people on the internet, anyone who has made an adjustment, or those who are not on the path of years, your day of atonement would be on an abominable day. He will not accept your sacrifice. It would be worthless. He will not accept your prayers. And an unclean day, a feast day. You're in the wrong month. You're in the wrong days. And they will confuse all the days. That's what they've done. The holy, the set apart days with the unclean, and the unclean days with the set apart days. Look, for they will go wrong as to the months and Shabbats and feasts and Yaubal Yam. All right. Here's your prohibition from making any adjustment to the calendar. If you do so, the days that you have your feast, they will be abominable to him. He hates them. That's what abomination means. Hate. Did he not say, your new moons, your feast days, your appointments? I hate them because they are an abomination to me. Enoch. They call him Enoch. Chapter 74, verses 9 to 13. The book of Enoch gives you the path of years. Why do you think your enemy, the colonizer, the servants of Satan, the servants of God Ra'el, why do you think they took this book out? And then told you it was apocryphal, that it doesn't belong in canon. Canon is church doctrine. We don't care about your canon on your church doctrine. Then they said that this book can only be dated back to 300 BC. In our terms, it'll be 300 years before the Messiah came on the earth. Do you know why they said that? When did the Greeks come into the Promised Land? 320 BC. So nothing was discovered. It's going to sound familiar. Until they came into the Promised Land. The book has been there for thousands of years, yet nothing has been discovered until the white man discovers it. 9. Thus I saw their position, how the moons rose and the sun set in those days. 10. And if 5 years are added together to the sun has an overplus of 30 days. And all the days which accrue to it for one of those 5 years, when they are full, amount to 364 days. So right away you know that the calendar that you have from Pope Gregory is flawed. It is a lie. They have 365 and a quarter days on it. Plus, they don't start from the equinox. If any of you thought that calendar was flawless, they fixed their date to the 21st of March. Therefore, that calendar is in total error. This does not go back to creation. That is a lie from the bottomless pit. 11. And the overplus of the sun and of the stars amounts to 6 days. So the sun has an overplus 6 days every year. And in 5 years, 6 days every year amount to 30 days. 6 times 5, 30. And the moon falls behind the sun and the stars to the number of 30 days. What is it explaining? Only the overplus. 6 days, 5 years, the moon will fall behind 30 days. 12. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years. Exactly. We're speaking of a solar year. So that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. Anything outside of that, the solar calendar is flawed. 13. In 3 years, on the sun, there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years, 1,820 days, so that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days. 14. For the moon alone, the days amount, in 3 years, to 1,062 days. And in 5 years, she falls behind 50 days. Hold it. Before it said in 5 years that the moon would fall behind 30 days. 5 times 6 is 30. Remember? Now it's saying for the moon alone, not counting the sun, she's going to fall behind the sun in the amount of 10 days every year. 5 times 10 equals 50. But I thought there was only 6-day surplus. Now they're adding the 6-day surplus and the 4 intercalorie days. In other words, to the sum of 1770, there is to be added 1,062 days. That's in parentheses. We can dismiss with that. 15. In 5 years, there are 1,770 days, so that for the moon, the days in 8 years will amount to 2,832 days. 16. For in 8 years she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. 10 times 8 is 80. She falls behind the sun 10 days every year, and all the days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. 17. Listen to what Enoch is going to tell you. and the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which it, the sun, rises and sets for 30 days. If there was an adjustment that you were supposed to make to the calendar to bring it back to the equinox, it would be here. But Enoch says everything is accurate. Can I ask you a question? If you change anything, if you make any adjustment, is it accurate anymore? Enoch, chapter 75, 1 and 2. 1. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars have also to do with the 4 intercalorie days, being inseparable from their office. Who are responsible to place these intercalorie days where they belong? The leaders of the heads of the thousands. Is that the Jews? Is that the Israelite brothers? Is it someone on the internet that you're listening to? According to the reckoning of the year, and these, the 4 intercalorie days, render service on the 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. How many intercalorie days are there? 4. 2. And owing to them men go wrong therein. Owing to them? What does that mean, owing to them? Changing them. Manipulating them. Adding or subtracting time. Did you know that Pope Gregory's calendar, which is considered to be a solar calendar, has 7 intercalorie days? Who put them there? The Gentiles. Are they the leaders of the heads of the thousands? The answer is no. Now you see what it means. Owing to them, men go wrong therein. Why do they put 7 intercalorie days? So that they can make their calendar flow from week to week, month to month, year to year. It's a never endless cycle of days. Did the leaders of the heads of the thousands create that? No. Look what else Pope Gregory's calendar does. It starts from the 21st of March. They fixed the date to the 21st. Did you guys know that? They have 365 and a quarter days. What did Enoch say? He said 364. The equinox usually comes out on the 18th. So if they're fixing it to the 21st, how many days is that? Behind. 3. Now, after learning this, can you still continue to follow a Shabbat on that calendar, knowing now that it's been manipulated by the Gentiles? And all the children of Yeshua will forget and will not find the path of years, because they will be following the feast of the Gentiles and counting the days, just like their captors. Let's continue. For those luminaries, look, it said those. It's not speaking of just the sun. What else are they manipulating? The moon. What are they doing? They said we have to bring it back to the equinox, to a place where we can receive a harvest. Don't you guys understand what they're saying? Yah is not pouring out his blessings for them. So they have to manipulate time to a place on the solar calendar where the seasons will bring them the rain, the dew, and the heat. Come on. You mean to tell me you guys don't see it yet? Okay, let's continue. For those luminaries truly render service on the world stations, one in the first portal, one in the third portal of the heaven, one in the fourth portal, one in the sixth portal, and the exactness of the year, here he goes again, is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. So if you don't have 364 days on your solar calendar, your year is not exact. If the moon is not falling behind the sun in the amount of 10 days every year, which means it has 354 days every year, your year is not exact. It is flawed. It is in error. You will never find Yah's time because they've confused all the days. 3. For the signs, the moon is the sign of feasts, and the times, oh man, all of the seasons, and the years. There's 354 days on the moon, 364 days on the sun, and the days, the angel, the malak, the alayam, Uriah showed to me. He showed it to Enoch. Did the Jews see it? Did the Israelite brothers see it? Did the people on the internet see it? Only Enoch saw this. Note, the angels, the watchers, the messengers that spoke to me told me not to just read this, but to go outside daily and prove it. I have. The text is flawless. For the signs and the times and the years and the days, the angel, the malak, the alayam showed to me, whom Yahuwah of glory have set over all the luminaries of the heaven, in the heaven, and in the world. Yahuwah set him up to be the leader over all of the thousands, over the whole creation, over all the luminaries of the heaven and in the world. The same time that they are witnessing in the heaven before the throne is the same time in the heavens that you witness on earth in the sky. What if you change something? Will you be on time with those who are in the heavens? The answer is no. That they, the sun, the moon, and the stars, should rule on the face of the heaven and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night, in other words, the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the ministering creatures, the thousands that work them, which make their revolution in all the chariots of the heaven. They're flying around in spacecraft. 4. In like manner, there are 12 doors. Uriah showed me 12 doors. He showed him 12 doors of the sun. Is there 13 doors? Brother Daoud had said 12. Okay. Open in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the heaven, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth when they are open at their appointed times. So they can open these doors whenever the master says that they should be open. Can the Jews do that? Can the Israelite brothers do that? Can those people on the internet do that? The answer is no. That's why they are trying to manipulate the calendars. 5. And for the winds and the spirit of the dew, when they are open, standing open in the heavens at the ends. 6. As for the 12 portals in the heaven, at the ends of the earth, out of which go forth the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the works of heaven in the east and in the west. 12 portals in which the sun, the moon, and the stars traverse. Are there 13 portals? The answer is no. It says right here, as clear as day, 12. 7. There are many windows open to the left and right of them, and one window at its appointed time produces warmth. Hold it 1 second. How many window openings are there? 12 window openings. Are there 13? The answer is no. Hold it. 12 doors. 12 portals. 12 window openings, corresponding to 12 months of the year. If you make it 13, do they have a door, a portal, or a window for it? The answer is no. Now you see the ignorance of adding months to the calendar. And one window at its appointed time produces warmth, corresponding also, as these do, to those doors from which the stars come forth according as he has commanded them. Who is he? Yahuwah. Yahuwah of glory. He who is seated upon the throne. Who commanded that there should be 12 doors, 12 portals, 12 windows, 12 months. He who is seated upon the throne. Are the Jews seated upon the throne? Are the Israelite brothers seated upon the throne? What about these people on the internet that you're listening to that has circumvented time? Do you know that we are the only channel that we know of here in the Americas that are not making adjustments to the calendar? Doesn't it sound strange? How is it that the others are doing it? What are they actually saying? By their actions, and remember, your action speaks louder than words. I don't believe in he who is seated upon the throne. I will manipulate the calendar for myself and bring it back to a place where I know the heat, the dew, and the rains come down. Is that working for them? I know you can tell it's not. I hope you guys are watching Al Jazeera and watching the news. Everything has gone haywire. Anyone making an adjustment has dismissed altogether with he who is seated upon the throne and the time that he is set up in the sky so that you can receive your appointment. If you change anything, you will not find that appointment. And in that day when he returns, you will be ashamed. Your sins will be stacked up to the heavens. And he'll tell you something like this: depart from me, you that work iniquity. Brother Dawood, I didn't know. These brothers and the Jews and the people on the internet said that this was the date, and I just followed them. He told you to be a Berean. He told you to test, try, and prove everything. Why didn't you do so? He said that if you seek me, you will find me if you search for me with all your heart. Do you have an example of a person that has searched for Yah with all their heart, mind, and soul? You're listening to him. This is all that I do. And wherein they set, what? The sun, the moon, and the stars, corresponding to their number. As who? As he, Yahuwah, has commanded them. 8. And I saw chariots in the heaven, running in the world above those portals in which revolve the stars that never set. Chariots running in the heaven? I hope you guys understand that chariots are vehicles. The writer did not know how to describe them, so he said chariots is what they knew in their time. 9. And one is larger than all the rest. We're talking about the great luminary. It's called the sun. And it is that makes its course through the entire world. So now you see, all of the people who I keep mentioning to you, they're following adjustments to the solar calendar. They're following adjustments to the lunar calendar. And look what Enoch said. They will go wrong as to all the order of years, and they will confuse all the days. But in these last days, Yah has raised up the path keepers on this channel, the children of Yesharal, The dry bones have come back to life. We're taking our place. That's why we don't sound like them. We don't look like them. We depend on He who is seated upon the throne. We follow His time. We do not follow the time of men. You cannot find the Day of Atonement if you're following the Gentiles. For now, every day is confused. If we were not in existence, you would never find them. Listen to us. Follow us. But before you do that, check on us. I'm putting out all of these videos in advance so that you'll have the time to test, try, and prove these things to yourself. Then get everyone that you can possibly contact on board, because He may be coming directly after the Day of Atonement to tabernacle with us. Shalom.